What's up? I'm Hutch, and you need to understand burns so that you can treat them in your patients, and also pass the NPTE. Now, these are the most variable wounds because they have the largest variety of causes. Thermal burns, for example, can be caused by sunburns, by touching a hot stove, or by being in a fire. Electrical burns can be caused by just touching an outlet or by getting struck by lightning, which can cause huge amounts of internal damage. Chemical burns can occur from working in a lab or by handling cleaning supplies. Burns that occur via inhalation can cause a lot of pulmonary damage. Radiation burns result in fragile skin that is slow to heal. Now, you can dedicate an entire career as a physical therapist just to burns. There are even burn centers. There's a lot to these injuries. The exudate, odor, and presentation of the burn will depend again on the cause of the burn. Thermal burns are probably the most common and the simplest in theory. In severe burns, the center of the burn, where the damage is the worst, is called the zone of coagulation, and that's where the damage is irreversible. Just outside that region is the zone of stasis. And in this region, the damage is still pretty severe, but it will heal over time. The outermost area is called the zone of inflammation, and that's where the damage is the least, but the skin is still affected. This area should make a full recovery and in a reasonable amount of time. The severity of the burn can be measured in a couple different ways, by surface area or by depth. Surface area is covered by the rule of nines, which is slightly different in kids versus adults. In adults, you can see, for example, if the burn covers the entire front of the torso, that's 18% of the body that's affected. If it's the entire torso, that's 36% of the body that's affected. The entire arm, though, is 9%. So you could have just the front of the whole arm, and that would be 4.5%, or you could have the front and back of just the lower arm, and that would be 4.5%. Burn depth is measured by the layers of the skin. So is it superficial, is it partial thickness, is it full thickness, etc. You can check out this previous video that I did on the layers of the skin to review each of the layers and how a wound of that depth will affect the presentation of the burn. The first step to treating a burn is to push fluids and control pain. You may have to do a little bit of skin desensitization as the burn heals. Make sure the patient's position, especially if you're splinting the wound, is designed to avoid contractures. You may also have to consider surgeries or grafts if the wound is really severe. You're going to want to investigate a little bit further just to make sure there are no signs of abuse. Now it's time for NPTE Jeopardy! Pause the video now if you want time to read and think about the question. Otherwise, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The most likely position for an elbow contracture is flexion and pronation. Hopefully that covers all of the bases. If not, you can always check out the description box below for a link to my notes on Etsy, or you can drop a comment with questions and suggestions for videos I should do in the future. Otherwise, good luck studying and go change the world.